transition from the more militant Fagu. Ska is a mode sweeter and more intimate in nature. Here, Ali Sabda sings Skaya to his daughter. Next is Leboer, a mode that is rooted in mysterious dark semitones. Rapid notes and tremolos in the lower range that have a particular way of captivating an audience. This is one of the only modes that continues to use ancestral playing methods. In the treble bidan, the pentatonic major scale is called layen. In the traditional hal, layen is the only mode which is sung in classical Arabic. The songs are of al-waka, Arabic for nostalgia. Themes in layen often include songs of love and sorrow. However, today many of the young musicians begin their layen repertoire with a variety of revolutionary songs. It is in fact the most commonly used mode in modern Saharaui music. The last mode in the traditional repertoire is lebtoit, a typically traditional bore in whole. It is the slowest mode in rhythm. Lerar, commonly referred to as Sudan, is not strictly speaking part of the classical whole repertoire. It is, however, very popular in the refugee camps. A characteristic dance in this mode is the chawada. Chawada means exorcism. In the treble bidan, it is the lerar mode which most incorporates sub-Saharan influences. Within Islam, there have been many interpretations of the Quran's view on music. The Taliban in Afghanistan banned music because they claimed that music distracted the path to the Prophet. This is a very specific and extreme example. It would be rather obtuse to generalize a religion as being oppressive, solely because in some Islamic states, controls are absolute and perhaps brutal. It is thus difficult to talk generally about the religious perspectives towards music, especially in the case of Islam, whose interpretations vary across the globe. What is certain is that music has always played an important role in religious ceremony. Humans are always prescribed to the idea of a supernatural being, and have always used music and lyrics to praise and make contact with God. Medeh is a religious singing style that highlights the connection between humans and God. Bara, an old Saharaui woman who explained to us much about religious music, would not sing Medeh unless completely spiritually inspired. Medeh is an ancestral way of singing to Allah, probably the oldest since the Islamification of the Trawidan. Medeh was handed down after the death of the Prophet to his 4 disciples, Abu Bakr ibn Sadiq, Umar ibn Khattab, Osman ibn Affan, and Ali ibn Abi Talib. Once Bara had enlightened us to many intriguing religious concepts, she began to sing in Medeh. I love my Prophet, I love my Prophet. When Allah raises his sword to the enemy, his blow will be faster than that of a flying javelin. When he arrives at the battlefield, the unfaithful will flee or be destroyed. I love my Prophet with all my being. In times of difficulty, he opens his doors. Traditionally, Medeh was sung on Thursday, before the sacred day. Various individuals told us how Medeh was once accompanied by the zagrit, tabal, and clapping. Now it is solely accompanied by percussion. It is believed that where there is Medeh, there are no evil spirits, and lately it has been associated with exorcisms. Here is another example of the ever-changing religious practices within the refugee camps. We came across this stone circle which outlines an imaginary mosque. It was the end of Ramadan. Within the stone circle, there was no ordained individual performing tajweed, an important method of reciting the Quran. This role has been taken over by the local radio station. After the death of the Spanish dictator Franco, Morocco invaded the mineral-rich Western Sahara in 1975. In 1991, the Polisario Front in Morocco agreed to a ceasefire as part of a UN settlement plan. For the past 14 years, the UN has been involved in finding a peaceful resolution to the conflict through the organization of a referendum on self-determination. However, despite numerous reaffirmations of the referendum proposal by the UN Security Council, Morocco continues to prevent the referendum from taking place. While the Baker framework for a resolution on Western Sahara status has been practically impotent. During 30 years of occupation, the Sahrawis have conducted their struggle for freedom within international norms, never using terrorism to attract attention to their plight. Libya, Algeria and Cuba are among the few countries that give practical assistance to the Sahrawis, allowing young prospective Sahrawi doctors, nurses and teachers to study within their borders. Such contact outside the confines of these refugee camps has led to fusion of traditional whole with African styles, as well as reggae, jazz and a wealth of other musical genres. This modern music is known as Alfen al-Asri, which in contrast to traditional whole, makes reference to revolution, love and admiration for the Prophet. One night we came across a lively young poet, Abdullah Hamdi Cinema. Abdullah described his poetry as a view on the world from a Sahrawi perspective. This is a form of poetry that takes into account the aspirations of an entire community rather than expressing the poet's personal emotions. He affirms that his poetry takes into account news from Al Jazeera, Radio Nacional and the BBC. The following day we met another poet, Luali Leksan.
Diferentes. El poeta antes, en la época de la guerra, cantaba a un alma colectiva, nosotros. Es decir, él incluido dentro de mucha gente con un dolor parejo para todo el mundo, con problemas parejos para todo el mundo, y él dentro de esa gente ponía en verso el sentimiento colectivo. Esta es una poesía mucho más personal, es decir, es una reflexión hacia el interior de uno mismo y las heridas en el cuerpo personal del que escribe, es decir, y creo que llega más, porque cuando individualizas los sentimientos se explican mejor, ¿no? Pero tus padres se acuerdan de uno nació, ¿no? Y me dicen que fue en un lugar que se llama albergar, algo así como los tunales de sueños. Es poético, ¿no? Sí. Y entonces siempre me ha gustado volver a ese lugar. No he podido volver porque está detrás de los muros, ¿no? Algún día iré, ¿no? Dormir un sueño sin primaveras postergadas, sin cláusulas de perdón incumplidas y despertarme en tu vientre tears. Espantar la soledad con un abanico de versos inspirados por tu inmensidad. Vaciar mi alma en la bondad de tu alma, repasar la memoria del universo en la poesía de tus paisajes y escuchar el eco de tus montañas, la gloria de tu pasado, los ruidos de la infancia del mundo, el galope de una caravana sobre el cristalino rostro de sus llanuras y sentir la paz que los dioses cincelaron con bondad en tu rostro de mar, al que se le congelaron las olas.
Even though subjected to living in refugee camps, there's been a pronounced development of whole and modern music. Alip Seda is one singer who creates songs fusing Western styles with whole, singing in Spanish and Hassaniya. Ahmed and Bepa are two other musicians who play at weddings and national events. Their songs, like those of Ali Sebda, have a popular following in the camps. An appreciation for the introduction of new styles while maintaining traditional undertones.
ودموع كيف ننسى ما علينا من ألم في المدينة أحبابنا كيف ننسى مآسينا ودموعا علينا.
Recently, Saharaui music has begun reaching a wider audience outside the camp's confines. However, the harsh reality is that Saharaui musicians hardly ever see any financial benefit. A minute percentage of sales abroad is given to the Ministry of Culture in the camps, but not to the musicians. Many of the musicians told us that they are now aware of how foreign record companies have capitalized on Saharaui ignorance towards contracts, leaving musicians without remuneration. Music is an essential tool for the survival of the Sahrawi people while subjected to life in these refugee camps. While the music entertains, motivates and educates, it is a constant reminder of Sahrawi heritage, a way to grieve and pay homage to fallen comrades, a link to their homeland.
Pueblo mío que estás en la colina, tendido como un viejo que se muere. Las penas y el abandono son mi triste compañía. Pueblo mío, te dejé